Why houses for church? There's a couple reasons. The first is that it's incredibly biblical. The early church met in homes. Read the New Testament. The New Testament church grew rapidly. It was a viral movement. And part of that was because their meeting place was ordinary. Their meeting place was reproducible. So it had a high reproducibility, because imagine if every time a New Testament church in the first century was created, they had to go buy a field, raise the funds, build it, maintain it, all that. No, it would have grown at a snail's pace. There were no church buildings for well over 150 years that were designated for Sunday worship, and so they grew viral until church became institutionalized. Once it became institutionalized away from the home into second or third spaces, which is not where we live, work, or play. It's a designated space for these holy things to happen. That really took a lot out of the momentum of the early church, and we have perpetuated that in Western Christianity ever since. And if we could just kind of get back to the first century idea and ideal, we might see more virality, because the bar of entry is much lower when you meet in a home rather than have to pay for a designated space. So number two, incredibly practical. Not only is it biblical with the potential to go viral, that makes it very practical. All that money you're spending on maintenance costs, cleaning costs, replacing the windows, fixing the leak, all that time of focus on a brick, on a piece of mortar, on a piece of concrete can be placed on people. And when you're able to place that focus, time, attention, money, resources on people, you're able to make disciples, you're able to reach the nations, you're able to not send a missionary, you're able to be a missionary. Not only is it incredibly practical, it's also scalable, it's reproducible. You got a place to live, you got a place to sleep, you got a place to meet. You have an outdoor space in a public park, you got a place to meet. You got a backyard, a front yard, a neighbor with a house with a living room big enough, you got a place to meet. That makes it reproducible because the bar of entry is low. That means anyone can do it. You make a disciple, they can plant a church. Now they can reach their neighbors. You see how that works? It's so simple, which makes it so scalable, so reproducible. He said it in a time and a culture where the household was the place for these things to take place, and we have relegated household matters, private matters, to public, basically, spaces. The next and the last is that it's persecution tolerant. Think about the churches all over the world, the nations where Christianity is persecuted. They meet underground, they meet in homes, they meet in apartments, they meet in small spaces with small numbers of people. If persecution were to ever come to America, I would imagine they would start with institutional church, institutional expressions of church, church buildings, 501c3s, all of this. I'm sure they would start there. If you're meeting in a home, you reach a new family, they start a church in their home, that flies under the radar. And part of it is also because we get in so deep in each other's lives because we're close, because it's not a room full of people you've never met and don't know their names. We're all praying for each other. We're encouraging each other. We're sending support messages to each other. Even just this morning, we're sending support messages for people who are doing hard things today. I want to encourage you, if this is on your heart, if house church and discipleship are on your heart, I want to talk to you. I want to reach out to you. I want to help you and equip you and get you going down that path. Please hit subscribe. Please hit the little bell for notifications. Please hit the like button. You're going to find out more about this. You're going to get equipped and to make disciples, to plant churches, to do something that can go viral. Only God can make it go viral. We can't make it go viral, but we can trust in God. We can rely on Him and depend on Him, surrender to Him, and then follow His lead and see what He does. So that's it for today. Catch you again later. Take care.